Hi, my name is Niket Kalia and this is my game Detective Frisbee. Detective Frisbee is an open world narrative detective game built in Unreal Engine. You play as a puppy who has the ability to sense the truth but cannot communicate with humans. The goal is to solve a murder mystery not through cutscene based dialogues or explicit instructions, but through exploration, observation, and piecing together evidence from the world around you. The game is built around three main pillars: exploration, interaction, and environmental storytelling. Players can move freely through the town, investigate locations, speak with NPCs, and collect clues that gradually build the narrative. Every interactive object is implemented as an actor using blueprint scripting, which handles interactions, dialogues, triggers, and evidence collections in the structured way. I built a blueprint based quest manager to track player progress and manage quest stories dynamically. Along that, I developed a world marker system that gently points players towards the important locations without taking away the freedom to explore at their own pace. One of the more involved systems in the game is the NPC daily schedule. Each character follows their own routine, moving through the world and performing activities independently of the player. The intent was to make the world feel consistent and lived in, and to allow story moments to surface naturally based on time and player presence rather than forced triggers. Since player or Frisbee cannot speak, the narrative relies entirely on the environment, character behavior, visual clues, and players' own reading of the situation. The level design tries to support this by teaching mechanics through play rather than instructions and by rewarding players who take the time to look closely. The game draws inspiration from The Secret of Monkey Island and Stardew Valley, combining mystery and exploration within a calm, inhabited world. Detective Frisbee was a project about understanding how narrative and systems can work together to form a ludo-narrative harmony. It gave me an opportunity to design interconnected game mechanics where the story, world, and player's action all inform each other. Thank you for watching. Within this sequence, the player is trying to put these mechanics into practice. The sequence starts with the player encountering a cow character, Muriel, who first mentions that something has happened in the town. This moment serves as the player's introduction to the investigation. It's intentionally low key, more of a rumor than a revelation, designed to prompt curiosity rather than urgency. From there, the player makes their way to the scene of the murder. At the location, two police authority characters are present discussing what happened. The player cannot participate in that conversation, they can only listen. This was a deliberate design choice meant to reinforce Frisbee's limitation, while still giving the player access to information. Shortly after, a horse character approaches and fills Frisbee in more directly, acting as an informal guide for that part of the narrative. While some context established, the player is then free to investigate the further scene, examining objects, reading environmental details, and collecting the evidence that will matter later. To add a layer of tension to the world, I introduced a set of antagonist characters. One of them is a wolf, whose behavior is tied directly to the game's built in world clock. At certain times of the day, the wolf becomes active and begins patrolling, making certain areas harder to access and adding a sense of risk to the player's movement. This system was built to make the world feel less predictable. The player has to be aware of not just what they are investigating, but when. The wolf wasn't added simply as an obstacle. The intention was to give the world a little more weight so the exploration feels considered rather than completely safe.